We like to believe that our homes, our jobs, and our daily routines are safe. But the truth is, danger doesn't always wait for the dark woods or abandoned buildings. Sometimes, it finds you exactly where you feel most comfortable. Tonight, we look at 3 disturbing true horror stories sent in by viewers who survived the unthinkable. Lock your doors, turn off the lights, and let's begin. This happened about 2 years ago, during the autumn of 2024. I was 19 at the time, working as a night shift delivery driver for a local food app in a quiet suburban town in upstate New York. It was an easy job mostly, spending hours listening to podcasts, driving through empty streets, and dropping off food to tired college students or overnight workers. It was around 2:45 a.m. on a rainy Tuesday when I received an order. The payout was unusually high, $25 for a single pizza, but the delivery address was on the absolute edge of my zone, deep in a heavily wooded rural area. I didn't think much of it. I just wanted to finish my shift and go home. The drive took about 20 minutes. The further I went, the narrower the roads became. Streetlights disappeared, leaving only my headlights to cut through the thick fog and heavy rain. Finally, my GPS told me I had arrived. I looked out the window. The house was a massive, old, 2-story wooden building. There were no lights on inside. None at all. The driveway was overgrown with weeds, and it looked completely abandoned. I checked my phone to confirm the address. It was correct. The delivery note simply read, "Bring it to the back door. Do not ring the front bell." A cold chill ran down my spine. Everything inside me told me to put the car in reverse and leave. But $25 was a lot of money to me back then. I grabbed the pizza box, stepped out into the freezing rain, and walked down the narrow gravel path leading to the side of the house. My flashlight beam flickered against the peeling paint of the walls. As I reached the backyard, I saw the back door. It was wide open, just a dark, gaping void leading into the pitch-black house. I stopped dead in my tracks. "Hello?" I called out, my voice shaking. "Food delivery?" No answer. But then, from deep inside the darkness of that kitchen, I heard a sound. It wasn't an animal. It was the distinct, heavy sound of footsteps slowly walking on old wooden floorboards, moving directly toward the doorway where I stood. And then, a voice whispered from the dark. It was a raspy, unnatural whisper. It said, "Just step inside. Leave it on the table." That was the exact moment my survival instinct took over. I dropped the pizza box right there on the muddy grass, turned around, and sprinted back to my car as fast as my legs could carry me. I threw myself into the driver's seat, locked the doors, and slammed on the gas pedal. As my car sped away, I glanced at my rearview mirror. Standing under the single rusty light at the edge of the woods, there wasn't just one person. There were 3 men, dressed in completely black clothes, standing perfectly still, watching my car disappear into the dark. I called the police immediately, but when they searched the house the next morning, it was completely empty. No furniture, no signs of life, just my ruined pizza box on the ground. I quit my delivery job the very next day. The city looks beautiful at night from the 20th floor. I used to stand at my window for hours, just watching. I told myself it was meditation. The first photo arrived on a Tuesday. No sender name, no number I recognized, just a message. And an attachment. It was my bedroom, dark, shot from outside. The blue glow of my phone charging on the nightstand. My shape beneath the duvet. Sleeping. My first thought was that it was old, something I'd taken myself and forgotten. My second thought came slower. We're on the 20th floor. I told myself it was a glitch, a forwarded image, a mistake. I deleted it. I closed the curtains. I didn't sleep well. The second photo came Friday. Same angle, but this time I could see my face. My mouth was open. I called the building manager. He said the fire escape on that side of the building had been sealed since 2019, welded shut, a liability issue. Welded shut. I went to look. The access hatch from the stairwell was sealed, just as he said, a thick bead of old weld across the frame. But the metal was scratched around the edges, recently. I stood at my window that night with the lights off, for a long time, just watching the darkness outside the glass. Then I saw it, a shape, not moving, just standing there on the narrow iron ledge outside my window, 20 stories above the street. It was a person, wearing dark clothing, holding a phone. The screen lit up, mine buzzed in my hand. I didn't open it. I couldn't move. My legs had turned to something cold and liquid. The air in my chest wouldn't come out. The shape didn't knock, didn't speak, just stood there, patient. I backed away from the window. 1 step, 2. I called emergency services with a hand I could barely feel. My voice came out wrong, too thin, too quiet. The operator asked me to repeat myself 3 times. They came. They found the fire escape. They found the welds had been cut with something precise and resealed, clumsily, from the outside. Someone had been using it for weeks. They never found who. I moved out the next morning, a ground floor apartment now, no windows facing the street. I still check the photos sometimes. There are 11 of them in total, 11 nights I don't remember being watched. The last one is different from the others. In every previous photo, I'm asleep. In the last one, I'm sitting up. The tower is 40 feet tall and 100 miles from anywhere. I've done this shift 11 times. I know every sound this place makes. I thought I did. It was 2 a.m. when the radio broke its silence. Not a call, not the standard weather check. A recording. I know it was a recording because the voice had that hollow digital compression of something old, something stored. I know it was a recording because the voice was mine. Base, this is Watchtower 7 requesting immediate assistance. I am a burst of static. Something in the tree line. It's been circling for more static. Please, I need someone to... I sat very still. My hand was on the radio receiver. But I hadn't transmitted. I hadn't said a word. I pulled the headset off. The transmission had lasted 43 seconds. I know because I watched the counter. 43 seconds of my own voice begging for help. I don't remember recording it. I don't remember ever making that call. I've worked this tower for 3 seasons. Nothing has ever happened here. Nothing. I told myself it was a test, a system drill I hadn't been briefed on. I told myself the recording was corrupted, a splice of old audio garbled by the network. I'm good at telling myself things. Then I heard the footsteps. The tower access is a single iron staircase, external, exposed. It runs up the eastern face and ends at a locked hatch beneath my feet. The lock is on my side. I killed the lights, moved to the eastern window, looked down. Someone was climbing, dark coat, moving slowly, head down. They were maybe 15 steps below me, 20 seconds away. I grabbed the radio. Base, this is Watchtower 7. I have an unauthorized individual climbing the access staircase, requesting immediate static. I looked at the hatch. The lock was a simple bolt. Enough? I didn't know. The footsteps stopped. 10 seconds. 20. Nothing. I pressed my back against the far wall. The cold of the metal came through my jacket. My hands were shaking, not from the temperature. My jaw was clamped so hard my teeth ached. The knock came again. Once. Then the radio spoke. My voice. 43 seconds, starting from the beginning. I don't know how long I stood there. At some point, the footsteps went back down, slow, unhurried. By the time dawn came, the forest was empty. The gravel at the base of the tower was undisturbed. No footprints. No footprints. But the radio log showed the transmission. 43 seconds, 2:17 a.m. Source ID, Watchtower 7. I submitted my report. I marked the source as unknown equipment malfunction. What else do you write? My next shift starts in 4 days. I keep thinking about one thing. In the recording, I say, "It's been circling." Present tense. It's been circling.